Hello everyone, welcome to Nuts Bestie Explains. Hope you all are following my videos. Let's start with another topic in nursing management and leadership, that is inventory control. The meaning of inventory control. An inventory is a detailed list of all articles. Okay, it is a detailed list of all articles on the ward, their specification and standard number or quantity. Whatever list of articles are there in detail, each and every item should be attached in the list. In the ward, their specification specifically laryngoscope with pediatric blade, laryngoscope with adult blade, like that very specifically that has to be mentioned, and standard number or quantity of it, how many blades present, pediatric blades, like that each and every detailed list, that is called as inventory. Inventory is a record of all goods. It is a record of all goods. When you go to the clinical areas, you can observe in the wards where different registers are maintained, in which inventory register will be one among that. In that you can just open and see record of all goods and materials procured, what you purchased, received to the ward, stored and used in the hospital, all will be mentioned in the inventory register. Definition of inventory control. It means stocking adequate number and kind of stores. Keeping in stock the adequate number and kind of stores. So that means supplies keeping in stock which are adequate, so that the materials are available whenever required and wherever required. So whenever required, wherever it is required, that material should be available to provide care to the patients. That is the definition of inventory control. Purposes of inventory control. What are the purposes of inventory control? Why we have to maintain this inventory? To make an account of materials held in the ward, to check against the recommended standards and take remedial measures. To have an account of what materials which are present in the ward, and also check against what is recommended. Usually in ICU, these are the items should be present. Like that, one standard recommendation list will be available. You can keep that list beside what stock you have actually in the ward. You can cross check to identify anything is lacking, anything is missing, like that, and also to take remedial measures. If any item is not there which is recommended by the standard, that you can bring and keep it. Okay, like that, to have that account we need to maintain inventory control. Second one is to dispose or obsolete. Obsolete is not needed for long time material. Okay, the obsolete is which the item which is not needed for long time. To dispose of such kind of things, we need to have a list. Okay, that is inventory. To determine the serviceability of materials. To know when you have to send the equipment for servicing. Okay, to know that also you need to open inventory register and just check when it is purchased and how much warranty it has come with. Is it in warranty period? After how many years it has to send for servicing? All those materials to whom you have to contact to take service or any repair, all that will be maintained in the inventory. To request for repair or replacement. If any repair has come, monitor is not working, you can go check in the inventory register where all the details are available. So you can call the service person or for replacement. Okay, if it is in the warranty period. To minimize shortages, to avoid shortages, inventory can be maintained and checked frequently. To improve quality of care for the smooth function of an organization. To provide quality of care. Without having proper material, supplies, equipment in the ward, can any ward provide quality of care? No. Okay. When soon after we receive the patient, according to the need of the patient, we should immediately bring the equipment, supplies, everything should present in the ward, so that then and there you can provide in time care to the patient to save the life of the patient. So to have that kind of quality in the care, we need to maintain inventory. To protect against stockouts. Okay, to protect against stockouts. So nothing should go stock out. If any item is going stock out, immediately check before 1 week put indent, procure, get it and replace it. Like that you have to maintain. So frequently you have to check the stocks. Okay. Inventory you have to check once in every month or once in a week, once in 10 days, like that. It has to be monitored. These are the purposes of inventory control. Next, types of inventory: official inventory and unofficial inventory. Two types are there. What is official inventory? Materials lying in the main stores and being accounted for but have not been issued to the user units. Materials which are lying in the main store, which are present in the main store and not being accounted. Okay, so no one is accounted for that but have not been issued to the, which is not issued, present in the store. Items are present in the store but not issued to the wards. Example: medical and surgical items, dressings, linen, x-ray supplies, laboratory items, etc. These are the official inventory. Unofficial inventory: the material have been issued to the user units like the dispensary, CSSD, okay, CSSD, central sterilization supplies, okay, department, laundry, wards, OPD, etc. In case of forecasting or demand estimation, these items are not taken into consideration by the hospital administration. So it is called an unofficial inventory from for the hospitals. Okay, that is, material have not been issued to any department. This material is not issued. Maybe they have kept it for future forecasting or any sudden demand comes to use for that purpose. This inventory is kept aside. Okay, that is called as unofficial inventory. These are the two types of inventory. Inventory control involves, so some inventory control involves maintenance of store records. Okay, maintaining the records in the store, main store where the equipment is purchased and kept. From there, wards will receive, all the wards will receive the stocks. Maintenance of store records, physical control of materials physically in that store. Inventory control involves control of the material. They will check any ward asks for any item, they issue. Remaining again they will check and keeping the maintaining, they maintain the records. Preservation of materials, not only maintaining records and the stocks, preserving it. That means keeping the items safely. The drugs which has to be kept in cool place, that has to be stored in the fridge. Okay, like vaccines and other injections, and salines which should be kept, some drugs which should be kept away from the bright light. So all that comes under preservation. Preservation is also very important in inventory control. Minimization of obsolescence. Okay, minimizing the wastage, okay, which are not using from longer periods, some drugs or injections, some material which you have purchased but not using for a long time, that you have to minimize. That kind of, like purchasing those type of material has to be minimized. Reconciliation of stock with book figures. Okay, cross checking the stocks with book figures, and again any replacement is required, frequently ordering it and keeping the full stock. Okay, all this comes under inventory control. Functions of inventory control. What are the functions of inventory control? If any, if you are working as an in charge of inventory control, or as a staff nurse, or as a nursing officer, you should know what is done by the store. Okay, and what work the inventory control people has to do. Okay, so that knowledge we should have. So what are the functions? To carry adequate stock to avoid stockouts. Okay, to carry adequate stock you have to maintain to avoid stockouts. To order sufficient quantity per order to reduce order cost. If sufficient amount, how many of urinary catheters you need to order? If you know the demand, you will order at one time so that you will get it for less cost. If one order 100 urinary catheters, again after 1 week, if they go stock out, again you order 100. Like that, if you keep on ordering frequently, you will have to pay more. Okay, so to reduce the order cost, you can order in bulk. For that, you need to know how much stock you are having and how much you need more. to stock just sufficient quantity to minimize inventory carrying cost. Only so that if you know how much demand is there, how much we need, sufficient quantity you can maintain. So you can minimize the wastage also. Then to make judicial selection of limiting the quantity of perishable items and costly materials. Okay. So you can carefully select the limiting the quantity of some perishable items which you don't usually use and very costly material. Those things only as per the demand, if required only you will keep, in limit only you will keep in the stock. To take advantage of seasonal cyclic variation on availability of materials to order the right quantity at the right time. Okay. So this seasonal cyclic variation, seasons also influence inventory control. How? Depending upon the cases. Okay. Like according to the season, usually summer season, what happens? Most of the people admit to the hospital with sunstroke, dehydration, fall, like that. So, and diarrhea, loose motion, sunstroke, heat waves, like that. If they get admitted, what we usually we replace the fluids with IV fluids. So, fluids you have to keep in good stock, sufficient stock, like that. In rainy season, usually most of the people, due to water contamination and all, people admit with diarrhea and vomitings. For that, whatever drug regimen we follow, according to that, okay, like that. In winter season, cough, cold medicines you have to keep in good stock, like that. Seasonal cyclic variation on availability of materials to order the right quantity. Depending upon the demand season, you have to keep maintain the stock. To provide safety stock to take care of fluctuation in demand or consumption during lead time. Okay, lead period where hospital is full of patients, that season where infections are more or some pandemic is going on, and stock has to be taken care due to the fluctuation in demand. Suddenly there may be rise. Okay, sudden pandemic is there, some rise of viral fever cases are more. So more patients keep coming with fever, vomiting, diarrhea complaints. So if that demand is there, immediately the stock you need to keep ready. Whatever items required, list out and order the items. To ensure optimum level of inventory holding to minimize the total inventory cost. So make sure that optimal level of inventory you have to have in the store to minimize the total inventory cost. Okay. So all these methods, like how you control inventory at home, like which we don't need much, we don't buy and keep unnecessary, it will go waste. So how we maintain cost control we do at home, in the same way even in the hospital inventories cost control has to be done. These are the functions. Then techniques of inventory control. Okay, techniques are very important in this topic. Okay, you may get just techniques of inventory control, or you may get a question as inventory control. In that you may have score good marks if you mention these techniques. What are those techniques? ABC, that is always better control. Okay, ABC. VED, VED, vital, essential and desirable. Vital, essential, desirable. HML, high, medium, low. FSN, fast, slow moving, non moving. SDE, scarce, difficult, easy. XYZ analysis, golf analysis. Okay, these are the different techniques of inventory control. So we can see the description here about each technique. First one is ABC analysis. It involves classifying items by using values as measures. Okay, as per the value or measures you have to classify. Okay, it helps us in segregation the items and tells us how much the items are valued at, to what extent they should be controlled in the best in the interest of the organization. Okay, always better and control. Always the items which we usually use daily we need. Okay, like in some wards daily those items are required in a better way and in a controlled. Like that you can classify and arrange the items in the stock room. Okay, like that. That is ABC analysis. This technique you can use, and VED analysis, that is Vital items, essential items, desirable. Vital items are stocked in abundance, okay, in lot. More number these vital items are stocked. And then there are essential items. Second one is essential items. Example for safety stock, very strict control items. Those are essential items. These are under moderate control, okay. Under moderate control, you have to store. Desirable items are under ordinary control, okay. So daily you can use them. Ordinarily you can store them. HML analysis. Material are classified according to their units, unit values as high, medium and low. Maybe according to their demand or according to the cost also. High cost, keep under lock and key. Medium cost, keep under eye vision. And low cost in abundance you can stock. XYZ analysis. X items are those whose stock value is very high. Z items are those with low value. Y items fall between the two categories. X, Z. Okay. Y are fall between two categories, neither too costly nor too low cost. Okay. FSN analysis. Movement analysis forms the basis for the qualification. Items are classified as fast moving based upon the movement. Okay, some items we use so much. Okay, fast moving, that is usually cotton, gauze, syringes, IV cannulas. These move very fast. Slow moving. Okay, slow moving, very rarely we use IV sets, urinary catheters, Ryle's tube. Those are slow moving. Only patient condition requires we use. We don't use for all the patients. And non-moving based on their consumption pattern. ET tubes, endotracheal tubes, only in emergency wards for endotracheal intubation. Daily we don't get, okay, depending upon the hospital, we don't get those cases. So non-moving, mostly they don't move in bulk. Okay, those like fast moving, slow moving, non-moving. FSN analysis. SDE analysis, shorted out as care to obtain. Okay, then difficult to obtain and easy to obtain. Okay, care to obtain. Okay, difficult to get. Okay, more very difficult to get. Short stock is available, difficult to obtain and easy to obtain according to that. Okay, shorted, difficult and easy to obtain. Golf analysis. Government supplies, ordinary supplies, local suppliers and foreign suppliers. According to the suppliers also we keep it. Government supplies. Okay, government supplies some items to the hospitals. Maybe ORS sachets, some drugs, vaccines which are supplied by the government. Ordinary supplies, local suppliers. Locally we get, okay, like ordinary tablets which much complications are not there, you will get from local suppliers. And foreign suppliers. Foreign suppliers like some products which are not available here, but people suffering with those conditions, if a patient can afford, because foreign supplier means definitely that foreign product will be very costly. Only some hospitals to some patients they advise. Okay, like for example, protein energy, protein milk protein intolerance children will be there, for whom breast milk, the protein present in the breast milk, they will be allergic to. So mother cannot give breast milk to the babies. In those cases, they try other formulas like soya milk, like that. If all those formulas fail, since few years, doctors are advising to the foreign formula. Okay, it is present in hydrolyzed form. So that formula, if patient can afford, because it will be very costly. One tin costs around 4 to 5,000. Okay, breastfeeding babies usually 3 4 days they need one tin. Like that, if parents can afford, they are bringing from foreign. Keep that stock is available in the hospitals. According to the need, also you can order. So that kind of foreign formula supplies are also there. Like that, drugs also from some drugs you get from the abroad. Okay, this is the goal analysis. These are the various techniques to store or to keep in the stock room according to various techniques. Next, responsibility of inventory control in the ward. What are the responsibilities in the ward related to inventory control? Who will be the in charge? Ward in charge, sub in charge will be there, some senior nurse, and in charge of the ward will be the in charge for inventory control. Then last, ward nurses. Okay, staff nurses are also play the role in maintaining the inventory control. And requisition process in the ward. Okay, how we get the stock. Indent book is there. Okay, that indent book is filled for demanding supplies. In that column, serial number, what item you want, quantity. Okay, all that clearly, size also, ET tubes different sizes, so Foley's catheter different sizes, so that size you should clearly maintain, write in the indent book, which is signed by ward in charge, again signed by HOD or the central drug store. Then you will get the issue of those items. Like that, requisition in the indent book you have to write and send. Requisition process in nursing college, if that is in the hospital. In nursing college, if you need some items to maintain the labs, okay, application for demand, which is written by the lab in charge. Each lab in charge lecturers will be there. They will write the list of the items they want, forwarded to the HOD or the principal. Indent book, which is filled by storekeeper of the college or the principal. Like this, they follow the process. What is the nurse's role in inventory control? That is keeping an adequate amount of equipment supplies in the ward. That is the main role of the nurse. To provide care, first of all, the material supplies has to be ready. Okay, equipment, material, and supplies. Keeping that in the adequate amount is the nurse's responsibility. Make sure that equipments and supplies are in good condition. Okay, not only just keeping full stock, monitors, everything. Keeping it in good condition and working condition is very important. Keeping them for charging so that whenever patient is received, if they require immediately you should connect and that should be in working condition. Put in a requisition for necessary equipment for repair and maintenance when needed. Whenever any equipment is under repair, write the requisition, send to the store for repair or replacement. Make sure that equipment and supplies are conveniently located. They should be kept conveniently. Each bed can accommodate with one rack at the back where monitor, defibrillator, one or two defibrillators in convenient places so that you can easily carry to the patient bedside. So convenient place those has to be kept. To be observant of waste and misuse. And if all that stock present in the ward, if it is in front of your eyes or near the nurse station where you can easily observe so that wastage and misuse can be avoided. So some supervision will be there. To delegate someone the responsibility for handling supplies and equipment. Every shift the ward in charge may not be present in the duty. So every shift one senior person should be delegated with the responsibility for handling the supplies and equipment. Set a standard for quantity of each item to be maintained in the ward all the time. All the time make sure that standard quantity for each item has to be maintained. Dopamine injections 10 according to that ward demand. 10 in every shift, make sure 10 dopamine injections, 10 calcium gluconate injections are kept ready. Like that, all emergency drugs, make sure that standard quantity has to be maintained. Responsibilities of the ward nurse. Okay, then sufficient supply of materials, very important. Checking the misuse and how to minimize it. If anyone is misusing it, using too many syringes for loading one drug and giving injection, teach them the skills how to minimize the wastage. Educating the ward staff and other healthcare workers in the economical use of the material. Educate the ward staff and other healthcare workers, anyone other than the staff nurses handling the injection syringes, tell them how to economically use the materials. Economical use of material means not only comes only ward, gauze, cotton, all these things. Economical use of electricity also is one of the thing. How immediately after our class is over, when you are leaving the classroom, how you switch off the fans, lights, and everything. You check whether windows are closed on. In the same way, you have to maintain in the ward with the fans, air conditioning, monitors. If they are not in use, immediately switch off, keep it for charging. Like that, it is not the responsibility of ward in charge. Every staff nurse responsibility. If it is not in use, switch it off, keep it safely and maintain it. That is keeping it for charging and check whether it is functioning or not. switching off the monitors and all if you are not using like that. You have to, everyone in the shift has to have the responsibility. Okay, this is the nurse's role in inventory. Coming to the summary, okay, inventory control is the set of activities that coordinate purchasing. Okay, inventory control involves the activities like coordinating the purchasing, manufacturing and distribution to maximize the availability of raw material for manufacturing or availability of finished goods for the customers. And when that inventory comes to the ward, it is the responsibility of nurses to maintain it properly, repairing, reusing, minimizing the wastage. All this is the responsibility of the staff nurses. Okay, so this is about inventory control in nursing management. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel. Follow all the videos for continuous, and you will see slowly the syllabus of each and every unit will be covered. Please follow the videos. Thank you.